I will. They can hear me, hopefully.
Don't know why.
There we go.
Okay.
I swear this program hates me. I've been fighting it for the last hour. So, welcome to the Cat Toy Lady. I am Candace, and I have gotten lots of new viewers recently. I am very, very grateful for that. And all of it is because of Charlie. And I guess it's just been 5 weeks now that we've had him in our lives. So, I don't know if you can hear me. Let's see. There we go. Now, hopefully, you can all hear me. And let me take a peek at the chat real quick. Okay. So, again, let me start over. There were some really big technical difficulties. Buttons that normally show up disappeared as soon as I hit live. I had no idea what to do. I was like, okay, I hit live, the button disappears. And my husband's trying to tell me something.
Whatever you just did, now you can hear duplicates.
Oh,
so duplicates.
duplicates.
You have two mics going. So now just turn.
Okay.
Whatever you did, you'll have one mic.
My desktop audio
that
is...
has a mic, and then that has a mic. So you have two mics going. So turn one of them off, and you should be good. You was fine before.
Camera? We'll see.
It looks like it's working.
It is so easy to go live from a phone. But for me, when I try to add in all the fanciness, it blows up on me. I've been planning on doing more lives where I introduce you to people, but I am having difficulty with this program, and this was also kind of for me to get used to this program more before introducing people again, so I can show you the cool stuff that they do in the cat world. So hopefully, Jeremy, can we get a mic check? Hopefully you're not hearing double of me anymore. So let me get onto the chat so I can see. And yes, my husband Nug is in here. If you do not know, my husband is a river scuba diver who is exploring with the Nug, or with Nug, who also has a YouTube channel. He says we are all good now, and thank you all for joining me. So Charlie update. He's doing very, very well. He's still a bit special. I have a daughter staring at me, which needs to move. You can't see her, but I can see her right here. Please go. All right, down to business. So Charlie. Charlie is a bit special. Some of his wonkiness is working its way out. So for a full recap, he was found on the highway when it was 85 degrees, which makes the road about, since it was black asphalt, around 130 degrees. His whiskers that were just on one side of his face, the face side that was down, were kind of crinkled, like it was frying him, quite literally. He was found unconscious by my husband, and of course, my husband brings him home. I do a quick exam of him just to see if he's going to live till we get to the vet. I am a registered vet tech. I've been doing it about 22 years now. So he started kind of at least holding his head up. He couldn't open his eyes. His eyeballs were really swollen, and he had some abrasions on his nose, his bottom lip, and his eyelid. It looked like he had hit the cement flat. So I didn't know if the swelling at that point was, the impact, or if there was something else going on with him. And of course, we're never going to know exactly what happened to him. It does, just from my experience, since I did work emergency for so many years, it does seem that he may have either fallen out of an engine of a car or off a car, or was kind of pitched. Either way, he made it onto the cement face first. There's no rubber tracks on him. Believe it or not, kitties that get hit by cars, it's not uncommon to see black rubber on them, or asphalt from the impact. So it was enough of an impact to make a scrape up of the face, but not to do any serious damage. Maybe concussion, head issues, but nothing physically like bones. So either way, my biggest theory in my head at the moment is that someone probably pitched him or he fell off a car. He didn't just wander to the road, not with the weird kind of contusions all on the same side of the face. He had some impact from something. If it were a car, he would have been squished. So we went to the rescue that I work with to get him veterinary care there. And he got his initial treatment, some sub-Q fluids that I was sent home with. We wanted to make sure his lungs were in good shape before giving him the sub-Q fluids, because if he had just been impacted by something to the chest, and when you give them sub-Q fluids, you can actually kind of drown the cat while they're in shock. So to the people that write me comments about, why didn't you give that cat fluids immediately? And you know who you are if you're still on here. That's why. In emergency care, if a pet is in true shock, certain types of life-saving items, if you do too much of it, like fluids, can kill them. Giving sub-Q fluids, you can't control the rate that the body absorbs the fluids. So it could essentially flood the lungs. It's a little different than IV fluids, but IV fluids on a young kitten at that age can have some other issues. But so we went with sub-Q fluids. And as we were cleaning him up, we started noticing that he had an upper respiratory infection. That was the cause of the swollen eyes. And he was bald around his nose. He had a lot of congestion that started to drain out after he started getting the antibiotics. So it was probably so swollen in his nose that nothing could come out. So that's why we weren't seeing a lot around there. And yes, antibiotics, fluids, and antibiotic injection, just basically stabilizing him and seeing how he would do through the night. Based on his teeth, he was probably somewhere around 9 weeks old or so, give or take a week, which makes him the same age as the kittens I was fostering at the same time, which was nice. So when we adopted another one of those kittens, that he bonded to, He has a best friend now. And Charlie got better very quickly. His hair on his face grew back. And hi to everyone. I am forgetting to even acknowledge you all in the chat room. Hello, Miss Angie and Kylie. Again, my husband, Abnormal the Clown's in here. Diane. Free Spirit Prepping. I see you all the time in other chats. And Cody Wells. So thank you all. If I missed someone, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to go back and forth between the chat. But I get one-track minded, I guess, when I talk. Even though I can be very ADD and squirrel at the same time. So Charlie just improved rapidly, but we were seeing some things that were odd about him at the same time. He had no back leg muscles. His femur was about the same diameter as the string of muscle going down the back of his leg. And that's not normal, of course. And again, the very swollen face and eyes and all the snot that started to come out. And we were seeing these muscle spasms. He'd go to play and his arms would cramp up on him. And he'd still try to play. He'd lick at him. You'd always know that he was having one of the cramps because he'd lick it, but he would still keep trying to play. Those are still happening. We just don't see them as much. It was every time he played. And whichever leg he was batting with the most, it happened to. So any of the four legs. We still see it. It doesn't happen to him as much, but it may be because he's not licking it. He's gotten used to it. So we don't notice it as frequently. It could still be happening the same amount, but through the vet tech eyes, I think it's lessening. He's getting back leg muscles finally, which is a good thing. He doesn't run like a bunny rabbit anymore. He was hopping with his back legs together when he would try to run. He's loving the cat wheel. I think the cat wheel is really helping with his running and getting the muscle. And let's see. Just taking a peek at the chat. Yep, everyone is glad he's doing better. We are too. He is a love. You look at him and make eye contact, and the biggest purr comes out of him. And then you pick him up, and it gets even louder. We joke around that it might be like a self-defense, that you pick him up and he purrs super loud. And he'll fall asleep in your arms still. He loves to cuddle when he falls asleep. But then he wants to move and stretch out, and he likes to lie completely flat on his side and really stretched out. I keep saying but I'm trying to think through all the different things. He is developing a hunchback, which is something I've taken x-rays of before in the past, of cats that the owners have always noticed a little bit of a hunchback, but you don't realize that it affects them until middle-aged seniorness, and then you start really seeing the problems that happen from that. The pinching of the spinal cord. It can cause paralysis, like not being able to use the limbs, stuff like that. And from the vet tech point of view, those are always the neat x-rays to try to see the structure and how it developed differently. And probably in the next 2 to 3 months, I'm going to let him grow a little bit more, let him become a true teenage cat, maybe around 6 months of age, and then we will get his x-rays. We will not be sedating him for them. I use 2 different vets. I have a mobile vet that I work with, that I do relief work with. She does not have x-ray. But my regular vet that has seen the pets for years, he does have digital x-ray. So there's less chance of needing to sedate him to be able to get good x-rays. So you can just snap x-ray after x-ray till you get the perfect one. And that was actually the vet that I worked for when I was 17 and 18. Very, very good vet. And the mobile vet parks at the base of the hill in a storage lot, and the other vet overlooks it. So it's funny how they're right there next to each other. So most of the veterinary care has been through the mobile vet. Charlie is continuing to sneeze. When he's on antibiotics, it's lesser, but he's not able to shake whatever the sneeze is. But it happens mainly when he plays or if he's purring. So I don't know if there's something wrong in his sinuses that's truly causing sneezing. That's one of the theories going on. And again, there's lots of theories about him. He doesn't present in a way that is casebook, I guess you could say. So some of his things seem like they might be a knock to the head. Like the arm cramps can be from him taking a bonk to the head when he was thrown. The muscle development and the hunchback and the slightly wider set eyes are all genetic, or they could be what we call C8, cerebellar hyperplasia. When you see cats that are Down syndrome kitties, that's not really Down syndrome. It's the CH. Down syndrome, that extra chromosome in cats, is actually what causes calicos to be male cats. And they can have health issues as they get older from that extra chromosome. So, don't believe the hype of my cat has Down syndrome. Wow. Yeah, don't believe the hype of my cat has Down syndrome like you see around the internet, because that's not true. Textbooks say that is not possible. Unless it's a calico that has an extra chromosome. And a boy. By the way, if you didn't know, calico cats are 99% of the time female. And kind of like orange kitties are majority boys. You can have some girls, but when you get girls that are orange, they don't typically have a genetic issue. It's just a fluke. So there's your genetic lesson for kitty cats for the day. And hello, Flippin' Crazy and Angie Hayes. Thank you for joining me today. So as we go further, we are just trying to figure out if it's truly CH that he has. And CH happens from the mother typically being exposed to a virus or having some type of trauma to the kittens as something that causes malformation of the kittens. It's a lot of the time it is from a virus. Panleukopenia is the main virus that mom gets. Panleukopenia kills kittens, but not adult cats. It just makes them kind of sick. But not the kittens that are in the womb. Then it just mutates them a little. So, I see a question of, does Charlie spend more time with me or with Nug, my husband? Or Jeremy, whatever you want to call him. Really, he spends more time with Ellie Mae, the other kitten. He splits his time between us all. At night, he goes from my daughter's bed to sleep on my side. Like he likes to tuck it in the crease at my hip. And then he'll go and he curls up with Jeremy at the neck. But he never stays anywhere very long. He likes to shift. The cute thing is, so Ellie Mae, the other kitten, the little calico girl, she has always nursed on a blanket. She'll even nurse on like the palm of my hand, this little flap here. All three from her litter were nursers. Jacques, who was one of the gray boys, would nurse on your fingertips. So all three never kicked the habit of nursing. They had been found at about 4 weeks old with wounds all over them. Mom presumed dead. I guess defending her. So I got them from animal control, and they were my foster babies, and they did not want to give up nursing on the bottle. They were all about eating solid food, but they wanted that bottle. They were aggressive about it, and when I finally just took it away because they were 8 weeks old and needed to stop, they started nursing on blankets or each other. And Charlie now this week has picked up on nursing on the same blanket that Ellie does. So they will both get in my lap and start nursing next to each other. And it's rather cute. I don't know if I took a picture of it. I might have. I do have some pictures to show you of the different things, like his hunchback, so you can kind of see what it looks like. And I don't think Charlie's allergic to Jeremy. He doesn't nap very long in one place unless he is completely left alone. Then he is dead to the world. He loves the back of the couch, the pillow that runs along the back. He sleeps on top of it, so he'll go behind my neck and just pass out. And let me see if I can get this transition. I mean, bear with me. Remember, this program hates me. I'm going to be working on a new program because the start of this episode was horrendous for me. A little embarrassing. And let's see. Transition. Let's see if it worked. Oh, okay. So we have Charlie here when he was just found and unconscious. And, oh, what? See, this program's annoying. It flipped my picture that you're about to see. Oh, why is it not? It won't show you. Well, isn't that annoying? See, I need a new program. My image slideshow. Let's change the rules to it and just let it go through, and I'll just over-talk over it. I mean, isn't that the way it should go? So let's see if it does its transition screen. Yeah, I got a really squeaky chair. Alright, there we go. So that's Charlie the first morning that he was eating. He's all puffy and gooey looking. And there's him once he was starting to get cleaned up, still in the bathroom, sitting on the floor with me. I was watching Raw Beauty Christy a lot. I binged all her stuff in there. And you see, it flipped the picture. It's loaded in the program normally. It just flips things. But you can see a lovely picture of his testicles that, by the way, Monday are being removed. He is getting neutered on Monday. And we are being very careful about it. Neutered kittens don't, typically they just give them a sedative and sometimes like a mask. Usually it's not the intubation. We are going to intubate with him. We're being a little bit more careful because we don't know exactly what's up with him. Lovely picture of me looking pregnant, but you can see how pissed off Cindy is. She is not happy about the kittens. Just, she is done. Cindy actually had to go on pain medication, an anti-inflammatory, to help with her limping because her right paw, where she kept slapping the kittens, she started limping on. Luckily, that is gone. And, oh, well, that's another upside down picture. It is the adoption picture from us adopting the 2 kittens, formally. And again, upside down, for the love of God, this program. If you all, since I know some of you out here are YouTubers, if you have a program you like to use besides Streamlabs and you want to share it with me, just let me know in the comments. I would love to know a program besides Streamlabs that works flawlessly, because this one apparently doesn't. So yeah, it's just going to keep going through Charlie pictures, some upside down. I'm doing perfectly, yeah, right? Yeah, Streamlab and I just, it might be that I like squeaky chairs, Apple computers, and I'm on my husband's desktop that's window-based, and I just hate Windows. I would love, there is a program I found that worked great through my iPad, but it was $40 a month. And, no. I like free stuff. And of course, I'm getting what I paid for. So let me think if there's any other Charlie updates. Besides that, you might be able to hear some cat litter pawing in the background. Charlie is currently destroying the litter box in my bedroom. Maybe he'll come over and I'll let him be seen. Or Miss Ellie Mae. You can see his sister too. And by the way, Charlie loves the bubble backpack. I have a little square fan now that sits down in the side of it that, since it's summer, keeps air circulating through and nice and cool. He thinks the bubble backpack is the best thing. He can see everything because the way I position it in the car, he can see out the windows. He feels nice and safe. It's great to him. We are working on trying to harness train because I think he'd like to go out. but currently he's just still so petite that even kitten harnesses are too big for him. So not safe to take outside. And he's back here somewhere. Let's see if I can find him. Maybe if I click on something, he'll come play. Oh, Charlie. Come here. Oh. There we go. So this is our Charlie. Say hi. Wait, which way am I going? There we go. Get some color balance here. His bright orange just isn't working. See? Hi, Charlie. He's a sweet boy. He is growing, but he wants down because his sister's here to play. Woo! And he threw himself right off my chest. LMA? Oh, no. The scaredy cat is out. I have a cat that lives under the bed, basically, or out on the big catio that I made. He's scared to death of anyone but me. And he is actually out. He loves the kittens. And, oh, it is raining. It's sun shining and raining here. You have to love Georgia. So, Jeremy, if you're watching this, you might want to let the dogs in from the backyard. They're getting soaked currently. Just Georgia has the weirdest weather sometimes. Sorry, much needed coffee. So Charlie update. I'm trying to think if there's anything else besides the bubble backpack and the hunchback. Really, he's doing really well. We do question his mentalness. He seems a bit off every once in a while. A bit special. He doesn't seem to know his own strength. So yeah. Oh, as this picture goes through, I'll try to point out the ones that I did for the hunchback. That'll come up in just a minute because I forgot that's why I'd put these pictures in here so I could point out a little his hunchbackness. And what it is his shoulder blades don't come up high enough. So it makes a hunchback and it causes his fur to stick up more, which makes it even more noticeable. And when he runs and plays, it really sticks up. So like when he's on the cat wheel, it's like he has a little mohawk going on. And let me think, when it comes to other stuff for the channel too, isn't Charlie cute? He is going to be featured more since people seem to love him. I am going to do another regular video, I'm sure, after he gets his neuter, and probably about the time that we do the x-rays. That way everyone can see the x-rays. They'll let me film in there. And thank you all for liking the Charlie video so much. All of a sudden it has taken off. It's getting about 1,000 views a day, and for my channel, given that I'm a petite little thing, or not me physically, but my channel, yeah, it's just, I went from just only one video, maybe having 250 views a day, some of my wheel videos, to having this video that yesterday, I think it was, or transitioning into today, I'm at 1,500 views for one day, which is mind-blowing. I see my husband's channel do stuff like that, not mine. Cat toys, we grow slow. But the Charlie video is really helping, so I greatly appreciate it. I am always up for, there's a cat coming through the cat window here. It's a Charlie. I'm always up for suggestions of things that you want to see. If there are products that you wondered to yourself, is it worth buying? I can either make a dupe of it and teach you how to make it for a whole lot cheaper, or I can actually test out that product and tell you yay or nay. So far in my product reviews, I've only tested out products that I really wanted to try that I knew I'd really like. So I haven't been able to turn down anything or say something negative about a toy or a product, because it's all stuff I wanted. So eventually I'll be mean about toys, I'm sure. Well, especially if it's store-bought toys. I'm in my head when I walk through PetSmart. and sometimes Target. Yeah, I don't like a lot of the toys. There's too many strings and they just fall apart quickly. It just, no. Especially if you're going to pay like $15 for a toy and it's covered in strings that's going to fall apart. That's really bad. And does Charlie have his own lazy day? Well, he lays around. In the morning, it's like cat TV here. The kittens are running around, thundering up and down the hall, wrestling and rolling, and just a giant ball of chewing on each other, just having a blast. Then about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's cat nap. Everyone naps. Everyone starts nursing on blankets. Well, not everyone. 2 of them. If Cindy wants, my big girl, wants some loving and the kittens are in my lap, she's now finally starting to still come up to the side of me and prop on the side of me like in this picture. But if I try to pet the kittens, then she tries to smack them. So it's, we're getting there. She's getting used to them. The really funny part with Cindy is when I brought the first foster in that was only 5 weeks old and she was the runt, Cindy acted like it was a monster that was going to eat her. She was scared to death of that cat. And when I brought in the second group of fosters, where I had the 3, which Ellie Mae came from, at first she was still scared of them. And then she just started slapping them. Like every time she got near them, just slap. And she talks very fierce, very grumpy. Rah, 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 rah. So we've been working on her manners. It's not going quite so well. Ella Mae, let's see if... Come here before you go out the cat window. This is Ellie Mae. This is our pretty girl. Yeah. Okay, go. So right next to me, I'm in my bedroom. I have a curtain behind me just so you all couldn't see my bed and stuff. But I have 3 large windows, and coming off of 2 of the windows is the catio I made. It's the double catio, if you've seen the video. So I had 2 cat doors. That way they have a safety exit. No one feels bullied. And the cats love it. Like I said, it's raining here. The cats are out there. And on any given afternoon during cat nap time, you can find all 5 cats sleeping out there. Let me go back. You all have seen enough of the Charlie videos. Let's see. Transition. There we go. Okay. Cute Charlie napping. And yes. She has a calico. She has a muted calico. So not bright colors, but she has the same color pattern, like kind of where her colors sit, as Cindy, but Cindy is a bright in color. So very bold colors. So it's kind of like you put a filter on, and that's Ellie Mae. I doubt Ellie Mae will get as big because Cindy's been eating a lot of kitten food, and yes, she's 17 pounds, but it's starting to show that she's 17 pounds. So we are working on her eating less, more wet food than dry food. My old lady and the one that lives under the bed, the 15-year-old and the 11-year-old that live under the bed, both don't do wet food. So I have to leave dry food out, which is higher carb, makes fatter kitties, all you can eat buffet, all that good stuff. I'm the vet tech that says, do what I say and not I do with my cats. Wet food is so much better. So I'm working with the kittens, and Cindy eat wet food twice a day. Sometimes 3 times a day for a snack. But yeah, Cindy, especially with having all the kittens around, she was trying to eat all their food, their wet and their dry. And she got a little fluffier, and I got a no-no from the vet. Go figure, the vet tech does that. But we are going to be working. Ideally, she should probably be 15 to 16 pounds. So she just has a little bit of extra fluff that we just don't want her carrying, especially if she's been limping. But yeah, she's a big girl. She's a 15-pound cat at normal weight, easily. Hello, Miss Sue. I see you in the chat room, too. And Kathy's in here. Do I allow the cats to go out and roam? Or just a catio? I have 2 catios. I have a smaller one off the kitchen, and then I have the big one off my bedroom. And that's as far as I get to go right now. If wood was a little bit cheaper, I have plans on making a catio that attaches to the window the same way, but goes down instead of across. That way they can, since we have a split level house, it's not all that far down, probably 8 feet from the window bottom to the ground. And I'd love to get them a tall catio where they can go all the way down to the bottom and touch dirt and sniff and all that goodness. But with the price of wood, I'd rather spend my money on other stuff. And Cindy we tried harness training her. She's just too much of a scaredy cat. She thinks everything outside will eat her, and she would rather be in the catio. So the kittens are we're working with them on getting them used to a collar and harness. So the plan is to be able to walk them outside. The 15-year-old, she's like 15 and a half. She can go outside on her own with us there, and she likes to eat grass, and then she comes right back in. And then the other guy, he's too scared of the world. He won't come out from underneath the bed or just to the catio, and that's it. So they know their safe spots, really. And we have coyotes really bad in our area. So unattended cats, it's very, very dangerous. There's always a sign up on one of the stop signs looking for a missing cat. And the next door neighbors have foxes underneath the side of their property, their little barn that they have, their outbuilding. And we did have rabbits that loved our front yard that we could look right out our bedroom window, especially on Easter. There was always a rabbit there. And then my daughter, the day before Easter 2 years ago, goes, "What's this?" And she was holding up a back leg of a rabbit. So, our rabbits disappeared when the foxes moved in. And our area is just not safe. We have too many people that speed up and down our hill. Even though we're in the back of the neighborhood, apparently 90 is acceptable. Okay, I'm being sarcastic, but they're easily doing 50 in the 35. And that's going up the hill, let alone down the hill. So it's, oh, let's see here. I see my elderly cat has stopped eating. I found Delectable, which is basically gravy, with a few little bits in it. It's like a kitty cat soup, a gravy soup. He's taking those well, but losing weight. I would just saying, most likely it's going to be kidney issues. It makes them really picky, and they lose weight quickly, if not thyroid issues. So, in senior cats, it's always, it seems, unless it's something rare, one of 3 issues. If they're overweight, it's diabetes. If they're underweight, it's either kidney or thyroid. They always go hyperthyroid, so overactive. So no matter how much they eat, they still seem to lose weight. But when it's really picky eaters, typically we lean towards it being kidney. And kidney, there's not a lot of medications, but there's fluids that you can give under the skin that help them feel better. It's just doing some senior lab work. Most clinics around the country, it's somewhere around 300, 350 for a full panel of senior blood work. So it's up to you. I know some people with senior cats say just let them be comfortable as long as their quality of life is good. Let them be. And for those of you that didn't know, I actually was the manager of an in-home pet euthanasia company for years. So I know a lot about the end-of-life talks. And we did hospice too. So, yeah. Yeah. So, I definitely do not let my cats roam in this area. Just, the coyotes don't even notice when Jeremy, because we own a wheel business, which hopefully will be going away soon since he's been doing well with the scuba diving. He'll be fixing a wheel, since it's mobile wheel repair. So in the back of the big truck we have, he'll be fixing wheel and coyotes just come walking down our driveway. We find the neighbor's chickens dead in our yard from coyotes. They leave pieces and feathers, and so yeah. definitely not safe here. We also had a bear at the back of our neighborhood. It apparently has moved somewhere else. It's been like a week since anyone spotted it, so who knows? And dumpster dive for wood. I could do that. I'm more dumpster dive for boxes. See if I can find some big boxes. Oh, an interesting update on my... If you saw the ramp I made out of cardboard, out of an Amazon box, to be able to help Charlie out, because it's hard for him to get on the bed with his oddities. He can't jump very well with his weaker back leg muscles. They're getting better. He can jump down fine. Getting up, a little different. So I made this ramp, and it was all good and cool. It was working great. And then the fireworks happened. And my 75-pound dog decided to try to hide underneath it. And the legs got ripped off. And I kind of propped it back up. And then the husky tried to walk up it. It can't take a husky. It's cardboard. And of course, if you watch the video, I made this ramp as a test to see long-term if Charlie's going to need a permanent ramp, stairs, something to get on the bed, or if he would have his leg muscles develop enough as he gets bigger to where he can get up on the bed by himself. So right now, I have a wedge-shaped back pillow so I can lean back in the bed. I have that with a pillow next to it stacked up, kind of as a step for Charlie to be able to use to climb up on the bed. It gives him just enough oomph for, it basically adds 3 steps for the bed. And yeah, so that's what he's using, since apparently huskies climb. Of course, I knew they climbed. That husky was the death of me when she was younger. She could get on the kitchen counters. She used her little web back toes and put them on the knobs of the doors underneath and get on the counter. She could get stuff off the fridge. Luckily that didn't last too long. But like I said, squirrel. I can go off in different tangents easily. And yeah, so when it comes to dumpster diving, I think I want to, if you heard that, that was Cindy giving a what to the kitten. I want to look for some wheels. You hear that? Can you guys actually hear her grumpiness behind me? Let's see. She is trying to say that that's her entrance to the catio. That's why there's 2 doors, not just one. No fighting. So I want to see how cheap I can make a cat wheel. I did the dollar store before, and I mean, for a kitten, it was a good size wheel. Not for adult cats. Everyone loves to call me out on that. I'm aware. If you watch the video thoroughly, I say it's an experiment, and it's for a kitten. Sorry. So my wheel videos, I get a lot of hate comments. A lot. So, yeah. Let me tell you about my hate comments for Charlie's video. A lot of people saying, I can't believe that examination at the beginning. That was so hard to watch. Why weren't they giving him IV fluids and antibiotics? Okay. That was in my bathroom. That was me just getting an initial idea what was going on. My bathroom. And you don't just willy-nilly all of a sudden give IV fluids and antibiotics to a cat without doing an exam first. You cannot just go ahead and start those things without listening to them and getting an assessment, making sure that their lungs are working well, not flooded with blood, that type of thing. I had more than one person actually comment on that, which seems crazy to me. I figured the bathroom sink was a dead giveaway. But, and again, yes, you need to do an exam before you can start fluids. You don't want to flood their lungs if there's something wrong. And kittens in shock, you don't just give an injection of antibiotics to, by the way. That can kill them. So there's that. And then people, for some reason, a lot of comments on, you should take him to the vet. Apparently you didn't watch the whole thing. When I'm doing my initial exam, it's while my kids are getting dressed so we can go to the vet. I'm not taking a little girl that's running around in her underwear to the vet. It's not going to happen. And yes, I had that child. One that my little boy won't even take his shirt off in public. That's like a sin to him. And then I had the one who is quite the carefree child. So, yeah, they had to get dressed to go to the vet with me. And we went to the rescue group to get veterinary care there because I work with them, discounted. I technically adopted Charlie to them, or signed him over, because at the time we didn't know, I assumed I was keeping Charlie. But if he was going to need a lot of specialty care or anything like that, the rescue group does get discounts. And there are specialists in our area that do things for free for them. So if it was going to cost me a lot of money, they wanted me to be able to get the best care for him kind of through going through that, which I appreciated. That way it could guarantee that he got the best care possible and money wouldn't be an object. And, so first day he went through their veterinary care, and then 4 days later maybe, he went to the mobile vet with me. And then he's been back to her again, and he's been to the regular vet, just so we could discuss doing the x-rays. While Cindy was getting her yearly and her medicine for her slapping hand. And by the way, if you didn't see that carrier that I use, it's like a rolling suitcase, but for either a small dog or a large cat. I was thoroughly impressed, and I admit it was free, but this company wanted to work with me, and I got to pick out whatever their products, they mainly sold carriers, that I wanted, and I already had their bubble backpack. So I was like, well, Cindy can't fit in it anymore. I need something to help with her big butt. And I picked this carrier out, and I'm just thoroughly impressed by it. When we start, we're trying to work things out. We did have an RV, and I've talked about in other lives where I want to, I was going to catify the RV. I had a whole bunch of plans because initially we wanted to try to spend the summer traveling around and with the RV and take the cats with us. That was before I started fostering, and we went from 3 cats to 5 cats. But we sold the RV, and in the nick of time, because my husband lost a expensive collection of equipment that he left on the back of his truck that had his GoPro and his big full face mask. So a little bit over $1,000 worth of stuff. And if you on his channel knew anything about the fixing up of the RV, I bought an RV that went through a tornado and basically flipped it. We redid it. So it was dirt cheap. So we were able to just turn around and take the money from selling the RV and put it into getting him all new equipment. Even though one of his viewers was super duper duper nice and bought him a new GoPro, which I love that woman. I don't know who she is, but I appreciate her so much. And let's see. Don't pay attention to others. I know. There's always the negative people on videos, but it always kills me when you can tell they never actually watch the video all the way through, because it's always things that are already explained. Like the first cat wheel, people are like, "Oh my God, your cat's gonna get decapitated," because it has blades on it. On the spinning wheel, there's like a peace sign, it looks like. But if you watch the video and you don't see it from straight on, I put the pole that sticks out 8 inches away from the part that rotates. That way a cat couldn't get stuck in between it. All that's explained. But I'd say at least once a week I get someone hating on that and leaving me comments. Sit. Let's see the other comments. Yeah, just ignore them. For the most part, I do. I love being a little snarky, though, at the ones that call me fat or make fun of my lisp. Like, I know. I see myself alive. I know that my tongue does this little funny thing. It's a lot better than when I was younger. I used to just be everywhere. It's me. When it comes to making fun of the way I look or anything like that, I am at the point as an adult where I just don't care. And I try to find the funniest thing I can to be able to respond back to them. And just as just as sarcastically as they put it, I will give it right back to them. It's kind of my joy in life at the moment when it comes to those type of comments. Like, I love the one that said that, something about, it looks like I sat around eating for 2 months, then ate myself, but I had really good makeup. Like, woo, good makeup. Like, oh, Sean's on. Hello, Sean. So yeah, those type of comments I find hilarious. It does not bother me whatsoever, so bring it on. You make fun of my cat wheel, we'll have issues. My newest cat wheel, though, I'm getting much better stuff on. The 2 previous, I never had cats using it because my big girl, even for a piece of chicken, I couldn't even get her to walk on that thing. So I tried to give away the second wheel I made, the big blue one, to someone in the rescue, and he took it home, and then even the rescue never heard from him again. Like, disappeared. So my chance of getting a video of his cats using it went out the window. So I never had a cat using it. I mean, granted, I think it would work. And the newest video I made exactly the same way, just with corrugated cardboard, or corrugated plastic, instead of, ooh, I should do it out of cardboard. But, instead of foam board, I use the corrugated plastic. Like, it looks like cardboard, but you get giant sheets of it at Home Depot. It's like what the yard sale signs are made out of. Made exactly the same way. And it works. So. And there's video of it. There's lots of video. Charlie loves it. The only problem is Ellie likes to spoil his fun. He'll start running one direction, and he'll get where he's almost, what is that, horizontal? Vertical? Up and down. My brain's not working. Running on it, and then here comes Ellie Mae, and she jumps on it, and then all of a sudden he's hanging from the top. So, like in my videos, if you see tape on it, it's because the carpet that's on it has had Charlie dangling from it so many times that I just gave up on trying to use double stick tape and the command strip Velcro, and I'm just taping that bad boy down because it's going to just happen over and over again. Charlie's going to end up hanging from the top of this wheel with Ellie Mae stopping the wheel. Like, she will come up and just watch and just wait till he starts getting really, like, up and down on the wheel, really running, and then she throws herself the other direction on it, and that's all she wrote. Ellie weighs more than Charlie, so Charlie goes flying up and gets stuck because he tries to hold on. One of these times I need to get a little video clip of it. I'll put it in some of my shorts. Yes, people do get bored and they like to be jerks. But some of it just, how do you think my bathroom sink is a vet clinic? I mean, have you seen a vet clinic? Some of these just, I mean, granted, I've been working in vet clinic since I was 16 years old. I volunteered when I was 15. I guess I recognize the inside of a clinic a lot easier than most people. But, yeah, it just... And if you look at my stethoscope, my kids have been playing with it, and one of the bevels, one of the parts that you put to the body, the side that's for adults was missing. So I had my finger over the hole and it turned to the pediatric side. So it's so ghetto. I'm like, is there a way to edit like the stethoscope hole into there? But Charlie was not in good shape, and I just wanted to go so I could try to figure out what was wrong with him while my kids were getting dressed. So, you didn't have to give me a donation. I am very flattered by the kitty donation. Well, it goes to kitty toys. All the money that I make from my channel, and granted it's not tons, I mean, I make something. It sometimes is every other month that I get something. But that's what I use to buy the products that I am, for the ones that aren't given to me, that I am reviewing. The materials to be able to make the cat toys. I mean, like the cat wheel is, I think it was like $76, $78. That, sorry, there's a little girl staring at me again. But yeah, the cat wheel was like $70-something. If you don't include, like, I already own the glue gun, and I already own the knives and all that stuff. I'm gonna kill a daughter. She just wants to say hi. You get one hi, and then you walk away. I can't think with a kid standing right here. Hi. Okay, you look like Wednesday Addams standing there. The Addams Family, honey. How many times have you watched that movie?
Yeah, a million times.
Yeah. Okay, let mommy be. If you don't know, I do have 2 kids. My 9-year-old that was just standing here, about to turn 10, because, that's 10 right there, and a 6-year-old little boy. So, I do try to keep them out of the videos for the most part. YouTube is funky about having kids in videos. And they like to take away your monetization. And again, I need the extra money to be able to buy the materials, like the glue, the whatnot. Granted, I use the Dollar Tree a lot, but everything adds up. So the donation is very appreciated. That was somewhere in that rant. I circled back. Okay, let's see. Kent's mom says, I was a vet tech and worked at an all-cat practice. I did that too. That's kind of how I got into this. So I did regular dog and cat. I started as a kennel girl. I volunteered there when I was 15. On my 16th birthday, they hired me. And at 18, I started doing emergency. And did emergency and critical care for about 4 years. And, 4 years in a row. And then at one point I went back for about a year. And I was a critical care nurse at one of the big nationwide chains of specialty hospitals. But I always worked at a day practice at the same time. I like to overwork. So I've been a registered tech now 14 years. But been in the vet field for 22 years. Year and a half before my daughter, maybe 2 years before I had my daughter, I started working at an all-cat practice. It was my dream job. Loved it there. The people that run, or the lady that runs the rescue group that I work with so much, was one of my co-workers. And she started a rescue group. And yeah, so I did cat for 2 years, and then I had my daughter. I was on bed rest. I got hit in a car accident and T-boned and at 20 weeks pregnant, and had contractions for 17 weeks after that. So no working. But then I went back there for a little bit, and when the practice sold, we all kind of left. One of the vets and I started a cat toy company, and I learned all about cat toy manufacturing. We threw ourselves in there and started producing cat toys and getting patents on products. And so for about 5.5 years, I designed cat toys and produced them. And when I quit doing that, I decided people need to know about cat toys and how cheap they are to make. And the fact that there's safety issues with a lot of the toys that are out there. That's why we started a veterinary-based cat toy company, because people don't think about the safety. They think anything that's in a store is safe for your cat. When, that is wrong. Between cats and dogs through the years, the amount of toys that I've seen removed is just incredible. So many cats will eat stuff, but specifically like strings, anything that has a string that's more than about 4 inches, and especially if it has a ball attached to it that can anchor. The way cat hairs on the tongue work is that they angle, and they kind of, if a string gets on it, they kind of move, and they feed the string more and more down the throat. The cat can't help it. They're not really trying to eat the string some of the time, but the way their tongue hairs are, it just forces it back. And then if it had a ball on it, they end up, or a wad of anything, a longer string even, if they get that down, that ball gets anchored in the stomach, and the rest of the string keeps going through the intestines. And there are so many cat toys that are made like that is cringeworthy. I know if I go through pet store, like PetSmart, and do a live or a regular video and try to show you the ones to stay away from, I'm going to get some serious hate from companies. I'm still thinking it's worth it. Maybe make them aware of how dangerous some of the toys are. Like the one that is just a ball of yarn wadded together, like looks like knitting yarn. Looks all good and cool. The yarn is lightly glued onto the ball. That's so stupid. Just barely tugging on it in the store. I made one start to come apart. And that's so dangerous. Ow! For a cat. My hair just got stuck to the lace. Girl problems right there. So, yeah, I think that was another roundabout of... we started the veterinary cat toy channel veterinary cat toy products. Things went wrong with that connection, and I decided the world needs to know how cheap cat toys are to really make, and that they can do it themselves. Like our company, we use stay-at-home moms to make our products. I mean, they look professional, but you don't realize it's something you can just make yourself. And that's where we are, and I want to start branching out. I do have plans if I can figure out this Streamlabs and make it work flawlessly every time I try to use it. There are plans to introduce you to more people in my in my cat field. All the neat people that I met when selling cat toys that were at CatCon and at the Snowcats, just all these. There's so many cat conventions, kind of like Comic-Con or DragonCon, how they compete with each other, or MomoCon, which we have here in Georgia. Momo means peach in Japanese. If you didn't know, I speak Japanese too. But yeah, so there's lots of different conventions. They're going to be starting up this year. I'm trying my darndest to be able to get into them because I want to educate people about cat toys, not just through my YouTube, but through these cat conventions about cat toy safety. Being a vet tech, it is just really something that I'm passionate about. It's a little harder at these conventions since they sell cat toys for me to teach how to make them. I mean, before the pandemic, there were it's one main body of conventions, but they had 2 different conventions. I was working with them to be able to go and do cat toy making classes. But it seems like some of the other groups feel that I'll be a competitor to the vendors there, and that might turn off some of the vendors. And they make a lot of money through vendors being there and buying the tables and the spots. But cat toy safety is what it boils down to with all of it. So I want to be able to do some lecturing on what to look for, what to stay away from, things that look like strings, like the paper rope, but are a lot safer. If you're going to go for strings, go for the paper rope. Most people don't even know it exists, and it's awesome. by the way. I used it in some of my earlier videos, and I need to bring it back. I'm glad that you guys are happy that I found YouTube. I've always been a talker, but I have a passion for cats and veterinary medicine, and as I've learned now, cat toys. That creative brain where I always want to invent and make something, and I get very stuck on how to construct certain things. Okay, in the chat, tell me if this sounds interesting. I want to make a cat bed, big enough for a cat, that looks like a giant Yeezy slip-on, if you know what that is. Ooh, wait, do I have my phone anywhere near me? I was like, I can show my phone. Hey, someone bring me my iPad. I can show you what they're the ugliest shoes ever. But I think they'd be fun for a cat because they have holes in them. I think they're called Yeezy Runners. And I want to make a giant foam cat bed because cats love to claw on foam anyways. Again, don't make anything out of foam if you have a foam eater. Sometimes you think it's common sense, and it's not. As I'm learning through chatting with some people that leave me comments, like their cat trying to eat the foam, and then I have to explain to them they need to take it away. And, it's some things you don't think you have to explain, but really you do, because not everyone their brains work the same. Is really what it boils down to. So I want to make. Let's see if I can download this, add to photos, that way I can blow it up. And you can see the weirdness that these shoes are. Okay, let's see if I can get this in here without it washing out. Wait, okay. So that is a Yeezy slider. Do you see the holes all in it? Think about kittens and cats playing, and they can look through on all the angles. Not all cats like beds that only have one hole. They like an escape route, especially when you have more than one cat in the house. So that's why a lot of my toys, I think about that. There's technically only one exit, but you can see out all the different angles, and you can see an ambush waiting for you. So that's kind of how cat brains work. And they can bat and play through it. You can stick toys in there that can roll around. And I think, wait. Sorry, that whole mirror image thing just really messes with me on here. Makes me seem special. I think if you've ever seen the cosplay people that make stuff out of that black foam, I think that black foam, it comes in like all different thicknesses. I want to get one of the thicker pieces, and you can heat meld. You can use heat on it, like a hot glue gun or a hot gun, and like take your knee and like form it around the knee to make dents and stuff like that, or other products. So I want to try to make a Yeezy, and you can use hot scalpels. They're like wood burning tools to be able to cut out holes in it. It's sandable. You can paint it even. But yeah, would y'all be interested in a Yeezy for a cat bed? Periodically I make different types of cat beds. I'm sure you've seen the Tesla, or I make the cat scratchers. They're all selective to just a few individuals. Like, how did Baby Yoda not do well? I made the cutest Baby Yoda. And I made Deadpool and a Baby Groot that has little butt cheeks on the backside. And those, believe it or not, are the videos that do the worst on my channel. And I think they are adorable. So I'm kind of debating, it's like, would people want to see me make a Yeezy? I wouldn't give like a lot of my stuff is a tutorial of step-by-step of you cut here and you slice here and you do 4 inches off and all that. This would just be watching me kind of probably in a more sped up way, just beginning to end. So if you are a little bit more creative, you can kind of reproduce it yourself. But it's not going to be a thorough tutorial of how to do it. Just some basics. And then let people feel out the rest of the way for themselves. But I don't know if people are truly interested in that, or if there's something else they want to see me make. I'm always looking for something larger to make. Those seem to be the fun things. And yeah, I found another thing is I did find this new, it's like a yarn, but it's basically it's fake fur, but it's a sturdy fake fur in a yarn. And the kitten's already unraveled it. They took it out of the bag and started unraveling it. They were wrestling with it. Cats were really attracted to it. So I want to find a little bit newer way than some of my other toys of making it big enough and safe enough to where they can't swallow pieces of it and it become a problem. But it's thick enough in the core of it that it's not something they're just going to bite through real quick and be able to swallow a chunk of. So that's what's cool about it. And it's at Joann's, and I'll be able to give you the lowdown. I think after my coupon it was $4.99 or $3.99. Something cheap. But the cats go nuts. They growl over it. It's a good product to introduce. It'll probably be next week's video if I can figure out what I'm going to do with it. Yes, Charlie did show up on the live, but I can get someone to find him if he's out in the living room. He might be on the catio, or you can't see here, but I have a 3-shelf unit. Oh, he is on it. Let me... Oh, and it's already... it's already sun shining again. This is my boy, and he's sleepy. And he'll let you do the whole baby cuddle. Yeah, it's just the sweetest little thing. Let's see, can we get a face shot? Oh. All his fur is back. He's doing really well. He is all about being held like a baby. That is how he's happy. But he was sunning himself, so he's probably not happy that I took him out of the sun. Because the rain is magically gone and the sun is out again. Because that is Georgia. Oh, did I roll? Did I move it? I'm like, how do we do this the cute way? Stay. Hi, Charlie. Oh, whoa. Camera's like, I can't take that much orange. But he's going to fall back asleep. He is just a sweet boy. His whiskers on the outside are still just a little crinkly, but all the new growth is back straight. All right. Here you go. And he has this weird, the tip of his tail is hooked. So that last segment of vertebrae of the tail has a bend to it. It feels like I don't know if it was broken at some point, but it's become more pronounced as he's been growing. It's like solidifying more, which means kitten tails can have a lot of cartilage base to them as they're kittens. So as he's growing now, it's getting more calcium to it, which is making it seem like it's more predominant. It looks straight when you look at him, but when you run your hand down his tail, you feel yeek right at the end. Let's see. Oh, let's Oh, out. Free Spirit Prepping is out searching for a missing person. A lot of the people that come from my husband's channel are either divers or rescue searchers or fishermen that are just helpful with their sonar. Like, they know what they're doing on it. So that's probably what Free Spirit's doing. I can't remember. I think he might I think he does sonar. Oh, I can't remember now. I'll have to ask him later. But what else is here? Oh, your cat is a plastic licker. Be very careful with that. plastic likes to go down just like a string. There's a petroleum that it's... No one knows exactly why certain cats like bags or plastic, but there's like a theory that the petroleum that they're made with tastes good. That, and it just might be a weird texture thing. I love the vet community because some people are like, I know exactly what the cause is. But we don't. We can't talk to animals. We don't know what they're attracted to and why. And it's kind of like the colorblind. What colors can cats see? That's a loaded question, because you will have 5 studies that say they can only see shades of blue and purple and red. And then you have other ones that say green and blues. And you basically, when it comes to that question, whatever color you think you want it to say, you can find a study that agrees with you. They only see black and white. That's out there too. They can only see yellows and oranges. Trust me, there is a study that says something for every color. We did a lot of research into it when we were doing the pet products or selling the cat toys. And it depends on where you look. And it can be UK based, it can be here in the US. It doesn't matter. Everyone has a different theory. Let's see. My kitten has that same thing. I think she was born that way. Same thing. Oh, with the tail? Yeah. We have no idea some of Charlie's stuff, if it was injury, like head trauma with him, or tail trauma, or if it's genetic. Some of his stuff seems... It kind of seems a combo. But it's so mixed in his oddness that all the vets are kind of scratching their head of, I can't put my finger exactly on it, because he has a couple of things that make you wonder if he has the cerebral hyperplasia, kind of like the Down syndrome look for cats, but nothing severe. And a lot of those cats, they call them wobbles. They sit there and do this, and then when they eat, their head really bounces. Charlie doesn't have that, but he has some of the other symptoms and the little bit wider set eyes that is common with it. But when he eats food, he looks like a turtle. He does this where he kind of scrunches up at first, and then he stretches his neck out, and then he slowly bites, and then some of the time he goes sideways and eats sideways. Like, it's just weird. Never had a cat do that. It could just be him, or it could be a sign of the hyperplasia. Who knows? He's just Charlie. Let's see. Your Siamese, he's a wool sucker. Cats love wool. There's something, it seems like the squeak of it in their teeth, and cats are attracted to lanolin, which is produced by wool. It's like I guess it's like the sweatish stuff that goes, the oil glands that go through sheep fur, which I happen to be allergic to. So you won't be seeing any products that have wool, unless you want to see me scratching a lot. I'm definitely allergic to lanolin. I put chapstick on one time that had lanolin in it, and it's just what it is. But yes, wool toys are very good. And even if you see like wool balls, and they have little fuzzy strings that kind of hang off, that's one of the toys that has lesser chances of, as long as it's a big ball, not one small enough to be swallowed, it has lesser chances of it being an issue. Wool, once it's felted together, doesn't really fall apart. So it's a safer toy. So if I weren't allergic, making a cat bed out of a sweater that's wool would be great for your cat. He would love it. He. If you saw where I used a pool noodle, and I turned the cat bed, or my daughter's sweater, into a cat bed. Still being used to this day. The cats love it. The pool noodle holds heat, And it being on a sweater, the sweater holds its own little bit of heat, but the part that tucks up around them holds heat even better. It's a win. It's a win. Highly recommend it. And his name is Kent. Oh, I get it now. I get your screen name. Kent's mom. That's your kitty cat. It's little things. It makes me happy. But I have been ranting for quite some time, haven't I? Let's see. Yeah, an hour and 20 minutes. Thank you all for joining me for this long. And my Charlie update, but I just wanted to feel out some things. It doesn't seem like anyone's really interested in me making a giant easy. Who knows? Maybe someone after the fact. I also, do you guys like when I go live? I know I'll go live with my husband's channel and those do well with him, but I don't really do a whole lot of lives. Do you like where I don't teach you cat toys and I just give you a lowdown and just fill you in with what's happening at this point? Or do you like the lives with the cat toy being included in the lowdown of everything? I talk with my hands so much. It's really apparent when I'm watching myself. Again, it's me. This is me. When I met my husband for the first time, because we met through Match.com, and we were meeting at a Waffle House, because we're down in the South, as my safe place. He said that was the one thing that he wasn't sure about, is how much I talk with my hands. And that's the more nervous I get, like meeting new people, especially back then, the hands really went, and my face gets really, exaggerated. But granted, I was 24, so I've had some time. That was 14 years ago. I am about to turn 38. So, what else before I wrap this up? Yeah, in the comments, I would love to know, one, is the Yeezy shoe runner even interesting? What all you are interested in? Like, do you want more cat beds or more lives? Lives with cat toys, lives without cat toys? Because I can talk. That's not a problem. I don't have to have a cat toy. Do you want me to be a little bit more educational? I'd love to know that one too, because the vet tech in me can really educate when it comes to cat toys and cat safety, and I get tons of questions about litter boxes and what type of litter boxes to use, how big, if it needs to be mechanical, like the automatic scooping, all that stuff. I can go through that. I can make it a little more vet tech-ish. I can even have some friends that are cat behavior specialists on, because they're the best ones to really talk about litter boxes. What I know is what they know, or I learned from them. In the veterinary community, cats are kind of the bastard child. Most vet techs, until you start working at cat-only practices, are kind of like the bastard child. Especially in dog-cat practices, they're just... even the doctors only go to dog CEs. They don't go to a lot of cat CEs, unless it's dog-cat mix. CE as in continuing ed. So I, even after leaving a regular practice, have learned so much, and it's from the cat behavior specialists. They blow my mind with some of the stuff that they come up with, and it's always stuff that's evolving. So, things that we did back in the 90s when I started as a vet tech. God, has it been that long? Yeah, it was the late 90s, but yeah, that it's so yeehaw when I think back of how we did things and how just backwards compared to what we know now. And veterinary medicine has come so far. Back in the 70s, I think it was, is when commercial cat food even came about. So, and cat and dog food. Before, you just kind of fed them anything. Like a dry food, that type of thing, canned food. So yeah, I'd love to know kind of what you're interested in. I'm I'm not afraid to go outside the realm of cat toys anymore. Just because I do have knowledge that I'd like to share. And there are other interesting things in the cat world that isn't just cat toys. I've shown you before the whisker jewelry. Oh, my kittens need to go ahead and shed some whiskers. Because as soon as I had all 3 cats' whiskers and I knew exactly what whisker came from whom, then we adopted 2 kittens. And if you didn't know about the adoption of the 2 kittens part, we decided we were keeping Ellie Mae. We made it official in the house that we were going to be adopting her. And then the next day, Jeremy found Charlie. And we couldn't then just say, okay, no more Ellie. We're just going to keep Charlie. Because that's just not how I roll. So we went from 3 cats to 5 cats in 2 days. We know the 2 older babies, the 15-and-a-half-year-old, she's got kidney issues. We're just letting her be happy. Pets are walking on stuff behind me if you hear the beeping. What in the world? Jeremy! I'm not doing anything. It's the safe. We have a gun safe. That way our kids can't touch anything.
Hold on.
And it just went nuts behind me. Welcome to live.
Oh my gosh, why? I'm taking it! It's gonna blow up!
Normally it beeps when a kitten runs across it, or the older guy that I was just about to talk to, the 10-year-old or 11-year-old now, that lives under the bed. He's got congestive heart failure. But he is such a feral cat that trying to medicate him is very hard. He doesn't fall for pills, and you can't actually touch him most of the day. If Jeremy's home, there's no touching this cat. It's still going off in the background. But, so, we have 2 cats that won't be with us all too much longer. I mean, granted, the 15-year-old could make it to 18, 19. Who's? The siren turned off.
What the heck, man?
What did you do to it?
Nothing. I think the cat stepped on it too many times and set it off. Oh, weird.
So apparently gun safes have sirens, alarms on them. Surprise. But, so, yeah, so not too much longer, we're aware that we're going to go back to 3 cats. Cindy just turned, so my channel is about to have a 2-year update, and a couple weeks before I decided to start the channel, we got Cindy. So, what is today? Okay, so maybe a week ago was Cindy's 2-year anniversary with us, because my 2-year anniversary of my channel is in 5 days. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. So we'll sadly be back down to 3 cats at some point. But let's see what else you like at all. Well, I can include everything. When you start a channel, you try to stick to your niche so much that you're afraid to break out. But then you realize that there's so much more out there. And that's kind of, I'm going to always keep the cat toy channel name. But, one of my favorite YouTubers, even, I think it was yesterday, her video came out with this same idea. She was a makeup person. And she was like, I want to expand. She realized she just didn't care about makeup anymore. She loves playing with makeup. But doing the videos, it was just not fun anymore to her. But she's hilarious. And Jamie Finch, if you've ever watched her, she does the, if you've seen the videos joking around about, this is how you put on 80s makeup. And then she does, like, the bright blue, and she does really big hair, and, or, like, she does the 2000s video, and she's drinking from the Surge container, and she's, like, totally rad. Just look up Jamie Finch makeup. but I think she's dropping the makeup name from it. But she is hilarious, and she's been doing movie reviews, and so she's getting away from makeup. And I appreciate the fact that I've already had this thought. I mean, I've been slowly changing the channel over the last 2 months, but there's so much more out there that in the cat world that I want to show people that I've had experience with. And when I get a chance to go to cat toy shows, like pet product shows, like conventions of the wholesalers, I decided this next show that's coming up, which is called Super Zoo, I'm going to hold off on. I could finagle my way in. They like you to have 10,000 subscribers. And through my different platforms, I can put that together. But I didn't want to... I'm not ready to go yet to one of those things. Just because it's also right as my kids are starting school, the first week of school. And I'd be in Vegas by myself. So I'm holding off. But in March will be one of these big conventions again. It's like the largest pet convention there is in the world. And it happens every March in Orlando, Florida, which means I can take the family easily since I'm in Georgia. And I already qualify for them because I have a lower standard of what an influencer is. Me, an influencer. But, so I can go there and I can broadcast live and show you what it all looks like. All the new cat toys coming out and toys. They have a new product showcase where all the new products are put in one spot and you can go through and you can see what's going to be going into PetSmarts and pet supermarkets and online on Amazon. All these new products. And what's really neat is they like you to test out their products when they like you, which means I can get lots of products to test and give you my honest opinion about. So that'll be neat, getting some loot, because they always have freebies anyways of certain things, and it'll be interesting because they also give out a lot of free booze in the afternoon at these conventions, and since I'm never driving there, it'll be fun. Because I don't talk enough as it is, and when I drink, I might talk more. Of course, I haven't had a drink in over a year, but if you all don't know, I have kidney issues at the moment. My ureter, the thing that drains your kidney, is all funky. I'm still working through that. We are getting me back in the lineup of surgery. When I went to do surgery last time, they found tons of scar tissue and couldn't do it. So now I have to we've given it time to calm down, and then they're going to go back in and do reconstructive surgery where they use the inside of my mouth, the tissue there, buccal tissue, to make a patch for the ureter and see if it takes. If it doesn't, then they take out the kidney. But my game plan is to, at that point, I'll do a whole lot more lives just because I do want to post every week. YouTube-wise, if you all do not know, at least once a week posting helps your channel. If you don't do that, they kind of just hide you in the back corner. They put you more front and center when you post often. So the more I post, the better it is. And I will just, at that point, even if I can't make cat toys because I will, be a few days out of surgery or something, I will still come on and do updates. Or do little clips of the kittens. If you don't know, I do have shorts that are out there now of like the kittens playing, and I babysat my next door neighbor's daughter, who is a little over a year old, cute little redhead, loves the kittens. She's never seen kittens before. The kittens running on the wheel was the best thing in the world to her. Second best, the kittens wrestling. So there's a short out there of that too. So I'm going to be doing more shorts of Charlie because he's the cutest thing ever. Most likely with Ellie Mae because they're almost inseparable. And my classmate hated me in vet school because I always picked cats in the lab. See? Or vet tech school. Yeah, us cat vet tech people, we're a little different. We know what we want to deal with. We don't want to deal with dogs, and we see the mistreatment that cats get in a dog-cat practice. I mean, I've seen them really roughed up. And then there's this stupid thing called a cat bag that I have some serious issues with, and that's a whole other topic of things I hate from the vet field. But on that same note, there's this new thing, a couple years old, 3 years old, called fear-free pets. There's things that you can do at home to lessen the anxiety of your pets, but they also have a veterinary side of it, where it's veterinary clinics that do not restrain. They use food as reinforcements. They even draw blood. They don't have to restrain a pet through this fear-free method. Look for a fear-free vet. It is awesome. A lot more leaning towards giving them sedations if needed. Lowering the sedation price, because some clinics I've worked at, it was almost $200 just to sedate your cat for blood work, let's say. At a cat practice, it was $25 was our minimum, depending on what type of sedative that cat needed. $25. So it wasn't a break the bank type thing if your cat needed to be sedated to keep them calm. Those sedatives aren't that expensive. No need to be $200. So look for fear-free practices. It is awesome. I can do a segment on that one too, because Dr. Andy Becker, he's known as quote unquote America's vet. He's like the vet that the gray-haired guy that you see on the Today Show, Good Morning America. He started this, and it's a brilliant idea. I'd love to work with him. Anyone know him? Send him my way. Also, if you see me on Instagram or YouTube begging for a sponsor, I'm trying to get a couple companies' attention. There is a catnip company that also mixes their catnip with other cat attractants. That, being from the veterinary side of things and the cat toy side of things before, I had done tons of research into all these different cat attractants and what work best and where they're made, and like Silvervine is like the holy grail, but it's very hard to get because it only grows in high altitudes of China. It takes a fly that lives there to lay an egg on the vine. It makes a bubble in the vine, and that is where all the cat attractant gets collected. So you'll see like Silvervine 6 out there, they barely have any cat attractant. If a cat likes it, usually it's just the smell of it versus a true cat attractantness to it. It's those things that they call the fruit gulls, those little bubbles that have this really potent cat attractant in it. And 80% of cats react to it, versus catnip, given the study, can be anywhere from a third to just over half of cats. But there's things like lemongrass out there, and lemon balm, bee balm. There's lots of different things that are cat attractant. Honeysuckle root, wild Canadian honeysuckle root. Who knew? But there are these things that are cat attractants, and this company, which is Meowawana, they have all these different mixes. So they have Silvervine blend. They have what's the one that smells really funny and makes me sneeze, but the cats love it. I cannot think of it. But yeah, I have a video all about it, by the way. If you ever want to go back and look, my top 5 cat attractants that work on cats, and they give their percentages of how they work and what form you need it in, that type of thing. I had that out there. It's made, I guess, almost 2 years ago. So, yeah, Meowawana. We need to work together. And the other one is Kitten. I have to say that I was not so secretly, jealous of when I was developing cat toys. I would see some of their products, and I had already had the thought to make that particular product, and they beat me to it. And now I don't have to compete with them. I want to work with them. They have this cat grass holder that has like, if you've ever grown grass for your cat and you have the type that tugs, the roots, the soil, it all comes out. they have this like mesh thing that helps keep the soil in, so the cats only break off the leaves and not all the way down. That way it has a chance to grow back up. So instead of killing it, and it keeps all the soil and dirt down below. So they have this grass holder that I want to work with. And then they have these little lick pouches that are like cat crack. But they have different toys that have the ball that goes through them. It's all things that I can't easily teach people how to make. But they're genius products that most cats are going to love. I don't think I've seen a single one of their products that I was like, I don't like that. I can back any of their products. So I'm going to make myself a nuisance, and I'm going to start openly begging to be an influencer or one of their people that I can spread the word about these products. Because not everyone wants to make their own products or cat toys, and some toys are just better when someone else professionally makes it. I'll be blunt about that. So for the average person, these are products that are going to benefit their cat. And that's why I want to back them. Even if it takes me, using the donation I got today, maybe I can get that cat grass grower. Because for me to show a cool product, I don't necessarily have to have them sponsor me, give me a free product. I'm not afraid to buy it myself. I do that all the time anyways. I mean, the bubble backpack, I bought that 2 years ago when Cindy was a brand new kitten in the house. And I used it into the point that she grew out of it, which kind of happened way too quickly, only for about 6 months. But with my kittens and the fact that Charlie loves that backpack, I now think I have to get 2 backpacks because Ellie Mae wants to be able to go out too. And I can't just take one kitten. Right now they both fit in the same backpack. But maybe I can work with one of the people that make the bubble backpack. Maybe we can get a stroller. I'd love that. I will be that person rocking the cat stroller. And I know my husband would too. There's nothing like seeing a guy pushing cat stroller. But those bad boys are not cheap. They're like $250 for a decent one. One that will hold multiple cats. So we'll work our way to that one. But let's see if there's anything else I miss. So yeah, for anyone that made it all the way through this, I appreciate you. And I am going to let you guys go have your afternoon off. Hopefully you're off. Some people work today. But always share with me any cat stories. If you make my toys, I love the videos. I love the pictures. Especially if you like me to share it on my social media. I am on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm not a Twitter person, but my stuff is better through picture, not Twitter. And I promise I'll get better at Instagram. I really am old. Like, I'm 30, about to be 38. Instagram's a new one still. I'm working my way into that one. So yes, I am going to say goodbye. And remember, go make your cat... The tongue, it just doesn't work sometimes. My sign off is always, now go make your cat some toys. But buy him a toy too. That works. And I will see you all hopefully very, very soon through another video. Bye.